Started in the year of 2020, weekly episodes there are plenty. Some are serious, some are funny, oh yeah. Oh, wow, what do you know? It's time for the Pocket Knife Show. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, it's Mike on the mic again for another episode of the Pocket Knife Podcast. My wife and I went out for Mexican with friends a month or so ago. Our waiter brought chips and salsa and walked away while we looked at the menus. A few minutes later, he returned for our order. When we'd all made our selections, I asked him to bring some hot salsa. I do this at most Mexican places because often their hot stuff is the good stuff. A minute later, he was back with not one, but two hotter salsas. One of them had that orangish tint that screams, "Watch out!" The other was a chunky concoction. It looked a lot like pico de gallo. As he put these down on our table, he looked at me and seriously said, "Be careful." I assured him I'd be fine, and he left to check on other tables. Both salsas, I'm telling you, were awesome. The chunky was the tastier of the two, but the other had good heat and decent taste. When our food arrived, I complimented the hot salsas. Our waiter looked at me and, once again, said, "Be careful." There was a bit of a smirk on his face this time. When we'd finished eating, I asked for a box for my leftovers and for a small container to take home the rest of the chunky stuff. He brought back a container for my food and a full container of fresh salsa. As he handed it to me with a smile, he said, "Be careful." I laughed and took it home. I ate the rest of it with chips later on, and it was hotter the longer it sat in the fridge. Still, it was just the best. I'll ask for it again the next time I make it to this restaurant. Yum. Be careful. Those words came from Jesus' lips on more than one occasion. Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, he said, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. Be careful. Be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Watch out. He used these words of warning as much as the others. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. Watch out that no one deceives you. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. I survived the heat of the salsas I was warned about. The things Jesus alerts his followers to are a little more dangerous, a little more consequential. Deception can lead to sin. Temptation can lead to ruin. Hypocrisy can lead to a loss of witness. Greed can lead to broken relationship with God and with others. And there's all sorts of things that I didn't even mention that you should be careful about. Be careful. Sin is too hot to handle. You will get burned. Oh no, it's sad I know we've come to the end of the show. Whoa, 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 whoa. See you next time.